Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. This is exciting. I love this week because you get to create your own stories and it's always really cool to see what you come up with. I'm going to share the screen for your English lesson and we'll get started. So you can see it's Wednesday, the 20th of January, 2021. I can't believe we're getting through January. That's amazing. And today we're going to be planning our new story. So to get started, we're going to have a little look at editing our spelling. So remember, if you see something in green, whether it's in your workbook or on the board, it means that there has been a little mistake. There's something we need to fix. And usually with writing, it might be a spelling. So let's read the sentence together and have a look at the words that are in green. And I want you to pause the screen after and have a go at writing the sentence again, but fixing the spelling of those words in green. So let's start with the sentence. One sunny day, there was a little clever squirrel, and she went for a stroll in the forest. One sunny day, there was a little clever squirrel, and she went for a stroll in the forest. So pause the screen, have a little look at the sentence, and look at those words, especially in green. And we're going to have to change those words so that we're using our year one sounds and our year one spellings. Now, just a quick clue about this one over here, because you might be looking at it and saying, but there is spelt properly. But we know that there with an I, our little clue about there with an I is that that's like a little person. So this there means like their pencil or their bottle or their jar. So belonging to a person. We're talking about there as in like there. It's one sunny day there was or over there. So that's your clue if you're looking for spellings for that word. There. Okay, so pause the video and have a little go. And when you come back, we will edit it together. And welcome back. I hope you all had a good little go. I hope that you remembered that you put capital letters at the start of a sentence and a full stop at the end. And let's have a look at one. So with one, we're saying one sunny day, and we spell that like the number one. So it is an O-N-E. One sunny day, there, like over there. So we have T-H-E-R-E. There was a little clever squirrel, and she went for, so or like fork, for a stroll in the forest. Fantastic. And making sure that we have our full stop, making sure that we have our capital letter. And now we can move on to our planning. So planning our story, let's have a look at the steps to success. I'll make it a bit smaller. If we can see the whole screen, lovely. So I can draw some pictures to sequence my story in order. That's our first step. I can label some sentence openers. I can label keywords and adjectives, so those describing words. I can use speech bubbles, I can read my work over, and I can use my story map to help me tell the story, which is the most important part. All right, so let's have a little think back to our story map from last week. So we know when we are doing Innovate, we're using our story that we used last week. We're just making some changes to make it more our own. So we had this story map that we used to help us tell the Gruffalo. But how can we change this story map to fit our new main character? So pause the screen and have a little think. You've got your story map from last week. Maybe pause it and have a little go at telling your story from last week. That would be a really good start. You can tell it to a partner. You can tell it to a sibling if you have a brother or sister at home. You can tell it to your reading buddy, your stuffed animal. You can tell it to me on the screen, or you can tell it to an adult. And then come back and we'll have a little think about how we can change this story map to fit our new main character. And welcome back. So now remember from yesterday, or well, Monday, I changed my main character to be the squirrel. So I could draw a brand new story map. I could do that and there's nothing wrong with it. But we know at school that we've seen that we could draw a picture of a squirrel on a Post-it or a sticky note or a different piece of paper. And then we could put that new character where our mouse used to be. Because the only thing we've changed in our story is our main character. So instead of having a mouse going around to see the creatures, we now have a clever squirrel. So wherever the mouse is, I'm going to get rid of the mouse and I'm going to put my nice squirrel there. So now when I tell my story, I can say one sunny day A clever little squirrel went for a stroll in the woods or in the forest. First, she came across a sly fox. Where are you going? Asked the fox. I'm going to have lunch with a gruffalo, replied the squirrel. The gruffalo, said the fox, and he ran away to his underground house. Next, the squirrel came across a hungry owl. Where are you going? Asked the owl. I'm going to have lunch with a gruffalo, replied replied the squirrel. Silly, it's not a fox, Mrs. Madison, it's a squirrel. Oh no, said the owl, and she flew away to her treetop house. Bye. After a while, the squirrel came across a sneaky, slithering snake. Where are you going? Hissed the snake. I'm going to have lunch with a gruffalo, replied the squirrel. Oh no, not a gruffalo, cried the snake, and off he slithered away. Bye. Soon, the squirrel came face to face with a real life gruffalo. Oh dear, thought the squirrel, but luckily she had a plan. Who are you? Asked the gruffalo. I'm the scariest creature in these woods, said the squirrel. Oh, show me. First they saw the snake. The snake saw the gruffalo, and off he slithered away. Then they saw the owl. The owl saw the gruffalo, and off she flew away. Last they saw the fox. The fox saw the gruffalo, and off he ran away. Wow, you really are the scariest creature, said the gruffalo. I am, said the fox. I did it again. You must be getting cross with me at home, said the squirrel. And off they went to have lunch together. The end. So you can see I changed my story a little bit, but all the main points are the same. So you're using your story map to help you tell the story, but this time, instead of your clever little mouse, you might have a clever little squirrel, or you might have a clever little butterfly, or you might have a clever little bunny, whatever character you've decided. So you've got two choices. You can draw a brand new story map, or you can do a nice little picture, or a few nice little pictures of your character, and you can stick them over top of your old story map, just like we do at school, and just like I've done with my picture here. And I've got a few examples that you can see from school where we've changed our story map by just putting a little sticky label over top with our new setting or our new characters. And this one you can see they've changed their characters with a lion. And down here, there's another example too. Or if you want to make it a bit more like what you create at school, I've got a picture of a storyboard. So you don't have to print this out, but you can see we've done it in boxes. So a really good strategy for this is to fold a piece of paper in half, and then you cut like the long way, and then you can fold it in half a few more times, and then you'll have 8 different boxes in your paper, and then you can draw your picture there. So you can do your story map by either changing your old story map, or you can create a brand new one. So that's a choice I'll leave up to you and whoever you're working with at home. And if you can take a picture of your story map and send it in, that's even better. And you never know, if you send in your work, your name will be in the draw for a new book this week. And the more work you send in, the more your name is in the draw. So it's good. It will help you win. And also, you might even have your work in the newsletter this week, because we're always looking for something really creative that wows us. Just remember, if you can use those keywords that we used last week, if you can use your speech bubbles to add some speech for your characters, and making sure that you read your work over, that's some really good next step stuff. So I'm just going to underline that idea about speech bubbles and those keywords and adjectives to help you. And we can't wait to see your work. It's going to be really, really amazing. I can't wait to read your stories this week. This is always my favorite week of writing. And happy story mapping. See you tomorrow.